What is the primary mission of the Starship Enterprise?
To explore the galaxy.
Do I have the necessary skills to complete that mission alone?
Negative.
Then why am I the only crew member? Aha, gotcha.
That information is not available.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds, Dory's a Star Trek novice, and we are taking her on our first journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we'll be discussing the Season 4 episode, Remember Me. Original air date October 20th, 1990, and as always we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Okay. So, we start off. Dr. C is doing voiceover. Has she done this before? I don't remember.
I don't think so. Not yet.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well then, what a wonderful way to start the episode is Dr. C.
Nice.
So, they're docking at Starbase 133 for scheduled crew rotation. And Dr. C has brought on a guest, Dr. Dalen
Quace.
No, there's Quace. There's no N. Where am I? I'm literally reading the word and I threw an N in there. Hey,
Dr.
listen.
Squanch.
We're going to go with Dr. Dalen. Because, hey, okay. So Dr. Dalen was Dr. C's mentor / she calls him her best friend at one point. And I was like, oh no, Dr. C.
She's very lonely.
I'm sure he's very nice. I'm sure he's very nice, but like your best friend is like an old man.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh. Like a good friend, but your best friend? Okay. I mean, maybe he's a real good time. I don't know. Okay. Whatever. I guess to each their own, but well, so man, we start off with such a bummer. Dr. Dalen's like, yeah. So his wife died. So they'd been together for a really long time, so he's decided to leave his post. And they're bringing him to his home planet, Kenda 2. There's a lot of good lines in this, but I guess I'll go to it later. So then we cut to Geordi and Wes in the engineering room, and Geordi's like, Wes, come on, do the thing, or whatever, with the warp field shit. I don't know. There was so much science in this that just like right over my head. So I'm going to do a very poor job of explaining the logistics of some of this shit. Are we surprised, though? No.
If it makes you feel any better, it's science fiction, so at least you don't have to worry that you're getting something real wrong.
That's true. I'm just going to get something fake wrong. So then Dr. C comes to engineering to visit Wes. And then, of course, there's like a whoosh and a dramatic camera angle. And then there's like a donut image on the screen or something. And then...
Yeah, it's science.
Yeah, and then Dr. C is gone? What?
Well, she's not in engineering anymore.
Yes. So then we now go where Dr. C is trying to like open a door. She's struggling. It's not opening. She finally gets it open, and then gasp. One of the many times I wrote gasp in my notes, which some of my gasps I didn't write why I was gasping. So good luck to me to remember what I was gasping about. So where did Dr. Dalen go? None of his shit is there. So then, like, she calls in Worf, and Worf is like, we're going to do a search. And she's like, what if he fell down and can't get up? And then Worf brings up a very good point where it's like, okay, if he's hurt, though, like, where did his shit go?
Yeah.
If you, like, fall down, your stuff doesn't disappear. So then also they do, like, a check, and they cannot find him. And then that Dr. C just, like, super... I couldn't help laughing at this. Like, it's not funny. But they're like, okay, the sensors didn't detect him, whatever. And then she says something that's like on the lines of like, the sensors can't detect him if he's dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow. Okay. Just going right there. Then, oh, there's my second gasp. Picard didn't get the passenger request. Because like Worf was like, oh, I don't know that you were having a guest, and she's like, okay, but like Picard approved it, and then he was like, he didn't, and then it's like, what's going on here? Something sketchy. And then there's like no record at all of Dr. Dalen, and they go to like talk to O'Brien, and he's like, who? But
Yeah.
here's my question: why didn't they utilize the AV club? Dr. C said that she picked him up around 4 or something. So why wouldn't have they just looked up the footage from the transporter room 3 at 4:00?
I marked that in my notes too. Specifically, I marked, why doesn't the Starfleet AV team see any of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, where are they when like they're needed? Like,
Yep. They're only there when you need to be really invasive. When you don't need to be invasive.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Maybe they disappeared first.
oh. Yeah, that's who goes first, the AV team.
Precisely.
Dr. Dalen and the AV team. So then we also learn, oh my gosh, Dr. Hill, Dr. Salar, they're missing too. I don't know.
We actually haven't seen Dr. Solar on screen for like a season and a half.
Like, the name is familiar, but yeah, I didn't know, but yeah, anyways.
She was the Vulcan doctor who was in the episode with oh fuck, I forgot his name. Ira.
Yeah, the asshole.
Ugh, fuck Ira. Okay, because like I knew the name was familiar, but I couldn't like place them.
That's
and then
fair.
I wrote alternative timeline. Are we multiversing? And then there's
Dr.
like, a
C and the
bubble
Multiverse
flash.
of Madness.
Yeah, I would watch that. I did watch that, I guess.
That is quite literally what. Can we please call the episode Dr. C and the Multiverse of Madness?
Sure.
Oh my god, yes. Yeah, she's like pretty chill for like a lot of confusion. I wrote gasp again, but then I don't know what I wrote gasp for. Oh, okay, never mind. I do know why. Because she went into sickbay and there was nobody there. And she's like, we're supposed to have 4 people there at all time. And then she's like, how many people are here? And they're like, 230. And it's like, that seems like a massive ass ship for 230 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then Picard's like, hey, Dr. C, can I see you in your ready room? And I wrote, like, in any other circumstances, I would love for Picard to ask to see Dr. C in his ready room.
Mm-hmm.
But these circumstances are not it. Then Picard says the tea, Earl Grey, hot, which I liked. So there's like blue windy light. Oh, and then they have a staff meeting. And there's now only 114 people on the Enterprise. And then we get the worst fucking news you can possibly get.
What's that?
Nobody's heard of Worf.
Oh no.
There's no Worf. I went, what? I was upset.
Yeah.
The Klingon.
So Worf is
disappears.
gone. And then Dr. C, to describe Worf, goes, Worf, Chief of Security, the big guy who never smiles, the Klingon. I love it. So then, like, Dr. C catches up with Troy in the hall after the staff meeting, and she's like, oh yeah, I can, like, picture all these babies' faces just like yours. And I was like, babies look exactly the same to me. How do you remember every single baby? They're just potatoes with arms and legs.
She's a
Well-
doctor. It's her job.
Well, I mean,
But
even
do you
potatoes
remember every
look
single
different.
baby? Yeah, but would you be like, oh, I know that potato?
Well, if it was like your best friend had a potato.
Yeah, but if you're just like delivering a bunch of potatoes, would you remember every single potato you've ever delivered?
No.
You're seeing like thousands of potatoes in your
Well,
life.
okay,
You just
I don't-
remember
I
that
Probably
one
isn't over
potato.
thousands.
Well, the thing is like
Hundreds?
she's not saying that she remembers every single baby
I
potato.
think she did.
No, she just says, I remember delivering babies who no longer exist.
Well, she said she can picture all the babies' faces.
Yeah,
Just as
of,
clearly as them, like the crew there.
well, like of the
That's
ones
why,
that
like-
she remembers.
Like, how many is she remembering? How many babies? Anyways, my point is I can't tell one baby to the next baby until like a good few months in. They need some facial features before I can be like, oh yeah, it's that kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I fully thought like Wes was going to disappear at this point. And because she goes down to engineering, I think. And is she in engineering? Yes, because then she's like, Wes, play with your experiment and fix this. And Wes is like, lol, I don't even know what to do with this thing.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about some guy named Kaczynski who's in subspace. And I just like wrote, who cares?
That's the guy from the Traveler episode. The guy who's like, oh, I came up with this like super cool engine shit, but I'm not going to explain to you how it works.
Yeah, remember the cocky dude? And he was, it turned out that it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't remember what I did yesterday. I'm lucky if I remember. Like,
Okay, just circling back to the babies thing. I just scrolled to the episode because I'm sure I'm right, and I am. She says, Deanna, I've delivered babies that no longer exist. She doesn't say anything about knowing every single baby.
But she says that she sees like the face, that she can picture the faces as clear as the people on the thing. Like, I'm not saying she doesn't say that bit.
Specifically
I'm saying
the ones
she
that
says
she remembers.
sees the faces.
Yeah.
But she says she sees the faces.
Yeah, of the ones that she remembers. She doesn't claim to remember every single baby.
Well, anyways. Okay. It's just like a lot of babies to remember, I guess.
Well, like, it could be 2. She's like, oh, I remember these 2 babies.
See, like, when she said it, I just pictured, like, she's delivering, like, thousands of babies. That's why I was like, oh my God, how many babies can she remember? Yeah, if it was, like, 2, then, like, yeah, you can remember 2 babies. I just kept picturing, like, she's delivered a ton of babies. Just, like, she has, like, a baby Rolodex. Oh, yeah. So then Wes is like, the other person I guess we could ask is Kaczynski's assistant, who's an alien from Tau Alpha C. He said he was a traveler. And I was like, I remember the traveler thing, but I couldn't remember what story it was from. Because then when the guy showed up, I was like, I recognize him, but I couldn't tell you from which episode.
What confuses me about that one is the fact that Wesley doesn't seem to know who the character is that he's referencing. But Beverly's immediately like, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Wesley even called him his friend, and he's like, doesn't remember him.
Yeah. Something along, what is it that he said? He said something along the lines of like some sort of traveler, he called himself, and it's like, you met him. Like, this isn't an aspect of the character no longer exists in this universe, he's disappeared, because you're directly referencing him, therefore that he exists. But for some reason, you specifically don't remember your encounter with him. That's weird. I think that might be a minor dialogue plot hole.
Yeah, they could have been I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I didn't interpret it that way, that he didn't remember. More that, like, he wasn't sure, like, how to describe the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, but, whatever. It could have just been a mistake.
Okay, so now we're back to, I think we're on the bridge, and it's just now Dr. C and Picard, and at this point, like, Dr. C looks concerned.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm like, this is simultaneously, like, amazing, but also terrible that it's just the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings. But then, like, I really like the way that Dr. C describes the the other crew members is, like, I love how, like, it's so surface level, but it's the same time it's stuff that, like, when she listed, it's stuff like that we can, as an audience member, be like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We know this.
She's just reading their little blurbs off of, like, the show Bible or whatever.
Yeah. So she's like, Will Riker, your first officer. He's very good at playing poker, loves to cook. He listens to jazz music, plays the trombone. And it's like, yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And then Commander Data, the android who sits at ops, dreams of being human, never gets the punchline of a joke. Yeah. Yeah. Deanna Troi, your ship's counselor, half Betazoid, loves chocolate. The arrival of her mother makes you shudder. Yes. Yeah, but I guess that's like, it's all accurate, but it's like, it would have been nice
It's
if
very
it was
shallow.
like something, yeah, it's stuff that like all of us knew. Like if you asked me to describe these people, I could probably do a better job.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed that. Oh my god, so then Dr. C sounds like she's about to fucking declare her feelings for Picard, and I'm like, do it. Then he fucking disappears, and I'm like, how could everybody? How could you do this all to me? Then we get the blue windy light, and cut to Wes and Geordi being like, are we gonna lose her? And then the Traveler's here to help, or is... They're like, oh, is Dr. C in her own reality? I guess so. And then they're like, how are we going to fix this? And I just wrote, power of friendship. And then immediately after, the Traveler goes, Wesley, there is a power within each of us that most people have not begun to realize, but you have begun. Or else I would not have known to come here now. Together we may be able to open a gateway for her, but she must choose to walk through it. So friendship will open the gateway with the two of them. So friendship, the power of friendship does win in the end.
It's the power of love.
Yes. So then, like, honestly, Dr. C was incredible in this episode, and I have so much to say about her stuff. Like, there's so many good lines. There's like a series of good stuff, but finally she's kind of figuring out that, like, yeah, this is like not right, this is messed up. Why is she the only one here on Enterprise? And she's like, hey, do I have the necessary skills to fucking complete the mission of exploring the galaxy on my own? And the computer's like, no. And she's like, yeah, fucking gotcha, bitch. Like,
So why am I the only one here? And the computer's like,
beats me.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah. Thank you for your inquiry.
Yeah.
So then she's like, let's set, then she remembers the Travelers from Tau Alpha C. So she's like, let's go there. And she's sitting in the captain's chair. And I was like, she looks good in the captain's chair.
Oh, yeah.
But then, surprise, no more Tau Alpha C. And then, like, the Enterprise is basically like... so then, like, the real Enterprise, they're heading back to where, like, the warp bubble field thing originally occurred at the beginning of the episode. To, I guess, try to get Dr. C back. But then, like, I don't know. I don't understand really what the Traveler and Wes were trying to, like... picture, because he was like, look beyond the math, and I was like, I can't even look at the math. So like none of this is like
well, he basically, okay, to put it in modern terms, he was basically like, see the Matrix.
I would never see my family again if this was me.
I mean, it's metaphysics, and like metaphysics, as I've mentioned before in our recordings, was big at this period. So like it's this thing that Star Trek will do a lot, where it kind of assumes that the human psyche is beyond space and time, if you really think about it, and like it's not. But that's just an ideal that we had in the 80s and 90s for some reason.
Yeah. Although when you look into high level math, it does get pretty fucking funky.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then there's like a mist surrounding the ship. And Dr. C is like, it's not me that's fucked, it's the universe that's fucked. And it's like, that's very relatable, Dr. C.
The exact line was, if there's nothing wrong with me, maybe there's something wrong with the universe. Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel you.
So then, like, I think she also was like, what's this mist shit? And the computer's like, it's 705 meters around the fucking place or something. And
Around
then
the
she's
ship.
like, what is the nature of the universe? And the computer's like, the universe is spheroid region 705 meters in diameter. And it's like, oh, so it's just the Enterprise then, I guess. And then, there was some spooky music then this point, because there's like Dr. C's looking like... concerned again. And then so like the bubble thing is like collapsing and parts of the ship is like disappearing, and she's like, where did this all take place? Oh yeah, engineering. I better bust ass to get shit to engineering. And then they're like, oh, 4 minutes. And so then like, oh yeah, so then Wes has to like save his mom by like chilling out and looking beyond the math. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Dr. C is like, okay, so like, how did this happen? What was I thinking about when the thing occurred? Oh, Dr. Dalen was being a real bummer and talking about how like everybody he knows is dead. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah, that would like suck to like lose everybody. And it's like, yep. Yeah, that's a huge bummer. So then Wes uses the power of beyond the math, and Dr. C is like, I gotta get out of here, and then she like jumps into the light. Mm-hmm. And
because she's figured out that it's a passageway now back into their established reality.
It was a vortex. So she's like, oh, they were trying to get me at those other occasions, but I like fucked off.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize what it was, which is like honestly very fair. So then she like is back on our timeline, and Wes is like crushed. Wesley Crusher.
That was awful.
Yeah. I didn't mean it as a pun, but then after I said it, I was like, haha. Because I couldn't think of a way to describe. He's just sort of like crumbled at the like monitor or something. And then Picard goes in and does like Wesley is like like struggling, and he just he's like goes over to see if Dr. C is okay. And then he like helps her up, and she like they hug, and then she just like keeps holding his arm, and I was like, you know what, Dr. C, you deserved this. Mm-hmm. You've earned this arm hold. And yeah, Picard is like very chill with all this shit. Mm-hmm. And then meet.
Oh, I think the word you were looking for is collapses.
Collapses.
Yeah, collapses
yes.
at the panel.
Yes. Oh yeah. So then she like Dr. C hugs Wes, and there's 1,014 people on the Enterprise, including Dr. Dalen. Mm-hmm. The end.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, the end is a little abrupt.
Yeah, but I really like this episode, honestly.
Me too. I really like this. Dr. C was great. I'm glad they gave her so much to do. I'm glad that like you could see that she was getting stressed, but she didn't like lose it. She didn't have like a breakdown. You can see why she's like good at like she's just awesome. She like I never know how I'm gonna react in a scary situation. But I like to think maybe one day I react like her. Mm-hmm. One day.
I personally think this is the strongest Beverly Crusher episode in the series. And it's great that it happened so early on.
Like, it's so good. There's also a billion good lines in this episode.
Yes.
She's so, like, her snarkiness is so good. And she's so good with working, like, working off the cast members, but she's also so good when she's by herself.
Yeah, she had a good amount of time to monologue in this episode. I would
so
like to point out this episode was actually a bottle episode, as you can probably tell from the fact that there's no new sets in it. They only use existing sets, and they don't even really change them that much.
Yeah.
But this kind of cements a theme that happens within Star Trek for a good amount of years, and that's that bottle episodes end up being some of the strongest of the series. There's one of them coming up later in the series that is considered like cream of the crop for Star Trek, like one of the top 5 episodes in the whole series. There are several of them in Deep Space Nine, which are also cream of the crop, including one which is one of the top episodes of the series. It's just, it's something that they really focus on in the writer's room for some reason. They're like, okay, we have an episode that's a bottle episode that sucks. What can we do about it? How can we make this place interesting? What can we make sci-fi about where we already are?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, sometimes the most creative ideas come from being constrained.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've talked at length about how constraints on the writers are specifically what has made Star Trek so strong in the thing I mentioned earlier in the series, the Roddenberry box, as Michael Piller called it.
Yeah.
And that's something I'll go into more detail later on throughout Star Trek, because there are more thoughts on that Michael Piller had, but I don't really want to get into them until after we finish TNG. Specifically because they were his thoughts after he had finished TNG.
Well, I think with most bottle episodes, it's really just figuring out people's resourcefulness.
Yeah.
And
yeah, precisely.
I just really liked. Yeah, I like those episodes. There was a whole thing of like on the show Community many years ago, where they do a bottle episode and they openly refer to it as a bottle episode.
Yeah.
And it's really good though, because I find like bottle episodes really just like the writing has to be really good
Yeah.
for the episode to succeed, because as you said, it's a box. You have to leave people with what you have access to, and the access is super limited. So they just have to figure out, what can I do with my situation? And I think they did such a good episode with that here.
Yeah.
Because Dr. C you get to know her more as a character, but it feels like she maybe learned some stuff about herself as well, which was cool.
Yeah,
and
you really get to see like how smart she is and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I really like the sort of mystery puzzle that happens in this episode. I thought it was really clever. That it was like because the expected thing is like all these people start disappearing, so like, oh, what's happening to them? But it turns out that it was really like nothing was happening to them, it was happening to Dr. Crusher.
Yeah. I also I liked that this was more of like a it wasn't like, for so many of these kinds of things where characters disappear, it's like an external source. But for this, it was super just the reason people were disappearing is because of what she was thinking about.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, these people are disappearing because like an alien has taken them. Like, no, it's because of what she happened to be. I mean, I do like that sort of like the sort of conclusion of she was thinking about loss.
Mm-hmm.
But
they did pile that on a little heavy at the beginning.
I don't think it like landed the way it maybe like wanted to for me.
Yeah.
And I also like, I found honestly everything that was not Beverly I didn't care about. Like, I didn't care about what Wes was doing with the Traveler. I was like, honestly, they could have just let her figure it out.
They
didn't have to do, but we did not need to, like, I honestly don't
like
think
not
that,
have
like,
that,
having,
like, just see her figure it out. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like if like the Traveler just like held the, like, if them just getting back to that spot where like the warp thing opened, the vortex opened, and it wasn't like them doing it, it was literally just like the like the physical place they were in, the warp thing opened, and that causes the vortex, and she realizes, oh shit, that's how I have to get back, and she is able to like do it on her own.
Yeah,
I think this episode would have been stronger, because all this shit of going back to like Wes and the Traveler, I was like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
sorry. And like, and I like Wes, but I felt like it was weak.
Yeah, or it could have been a surprise. It could have been like she figures all this out, she goes through the thing, and then we get to the other side and like, oh, the Traveler's here, and oh, Wes, and then like you have a little coda where they explain what happened or whatever.
Yeah, I think it definitely could have done with a coda too. That would have helped a lot.
Yeah, because like the back and forth that they do it with like was not effective to me. Like I felt like it like just with Dr. C's story was going at such a good pace, and then it kind of halts when they shift back over to the main timeline. Yeah,
the episode definitely kind of like it gets less good once that part happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually into background corner a little bit for this. So the episode's original concept was actually going to be as a B plot in Family, and they shelved that because they're like, no, this episode actually has a lot of like, or this storyline has a lot of really good ideas to it. I think we can do more with it, so they put it aside.
Yeah,
and
that
when
would
they brought
have
it
been
into
terrible.
this, So when they brought it into this, the original plan, and this plan lasted quite a while, up until the final draft is when it changed. The Traveler wasn't going to be involved. It was going to be a dream.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been a terrible idea.
Yeah, that was. I'd rather have the Traveler. I mean, it kind of like... It kind of like meh the episode a little bit, but I'd rather have the Traveler than it be a dream.
Yeah. So worth considering that the weakness of the episode, which is how the Traveler is introduced and all that, is a very late addition to the story to begin with.
Yeah. I guess it could have... The episode could have been weaker.
Yes. A lot.
Yeah. I didn't mind the Traveler stuff because I'm like... I was kind of happy that they, like, introduced that again, that they're connecting to things that have happened previously in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
they've been looking for an excuse to bring him back for a while, too.
Yeah. So I don't mind it that much. But yeah. But I do like that. Because one of the things I wanted to bring up was that I really appreciate that it wasn't like damsel in distress thing. It's like Dr. C, like
she didn't need to be rescued.
Yeah,
and
like
she was able to like save herself and figure it out.
Yeah, because Wes and the Traveler and them, like, they had to do their part, but Dr. Crusher also had to do her part. She had to figure out what was going on. She had to figure it out for herself so that she could save herself. So I really liked that aspect of it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Oh, I like that they had like the recurrent, like a bringing somebody back. Thanks, continuity.
Mm-hmm.
The Traveler. But when they said Traveler, you know who I was picturing? Season 3 Jesus.
I don't remember. Who's season 3 Jesus again?
The guy at the end who turns into...
the one who turns into light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I kept picturing. But then when he showed up, I was like, okay, I like, this is familiar, but I can't tell you from which episode.
Yeah.
But I do like that they're bringing some people back. If only I could remember them.
Well, it's like if you... it's the episode where we see Picard's mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, like, I remember people imagining shit from that episode, but, like, I don't remember what the plot was of that episode.
Oh, yeah. So that's where Kaczynski, he comes on board to, like, improve the Enterprise's engines, and the weird alien guy is there, too. And then they accidentally go into, like, mind space, where they imagine all the shit. And they have to get out of it. And that's when they find out about the Traveler. And Picard yells at Wesley in the in like sick bay and stuff, and he's like, "What's the boy doing here?"
How could I not remember Picard yelling at Wesley?
Yeah, because that's a premium the boy moment. Like, what's the boy doing here?
Wesley, the boy.
Yeah, when he's sick, like when the Traveler's sick, and they're like trying to figure out how to fucking get back to normal space.
Wait, was this the episode where you guys in the description was like an alien is like spends too much time with Wes?
Yeah, Wes makes friends
weird?
with an older man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like heavy pedophile vibes there, which I wanted to ask, did you feel like those vibes were still here in this episode? I didn't.
No, I didn't either.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything pervy in this episode.
Yeah, it's also Wesley's older too. So it doesn't feel as, like, imbalanced and all that stuff.
That's a good point. He's more of an adult by this point.
Yeah, and the Traveler's not acting as creepy. He's just kind of acting, like, mysterious and, like... He seems less like a predator and more like, a hippie yoga instructor.
Yes. Yeah, I would
An
agree with
annoying
that.
life coach.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is look beyond the math.
Yeah.
Fun fact, do you remember the reference to the dancing doctor, Dory?
No.
Oh, wait. Shit. Okay, we haven't got to that yet. My mistake. Ignore that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's something that we'll get to, I think, this season, actually. But anyway, so Dr. C, the actress, Gates McFadden, actually did all of her own stunts for this episode.
Oh, sick.
Yes. 3 days later, she discovered she was pregnant.
Oh.
Oh, that baby was parkouring.
Yeah, they
inside of her.
basically hide her pregnancy for the rest of the season.
Oh my god. So is this gonna be? This is gonna be my. Oh my god. Okay.
This
new
is gonna
corner
be your
alert.
new,
What shit? What stuff is she hiding in front of herself so we don't know she's pregnant?
Yeah.
This is
less
the new
of that.
corner.
Less of that, more of the what do you call it? The wardrobe is like they stick with the big open jacket for a while, and they just kind of quiet down the doctor's stuff by the end of the season. And I think by the start of the next season, she's already had the kid.
Oh, I was looking forward to playing a game with myself of like,
I'm sure you
what's
can
she
still
hiding
find that,
behind?
Yeah.
I always love that in shows.
You will see a little bit of evidence of it, and it will actually be the first out of 3 times that Star Trek hides a pregnancy within the show.
Yeah.
In 2 points, they actually work the pregnancy into the plot.
Gasp.
Yes, and in one of them, one of those 2 points, they make a direct reference to the cause of the pregnancy on the show, and it is really funny.
I'm looking forward. Well, I was gonna say I'm
that-
looking forward to this, but I will not remember any.
Yeah.
of
You won't. It's
Well,
in DS9, but basically the pregnant actress calls out the person who caused the pregnancy because it's another cast member.
It's
And,
really weird to put it that way. To put it the person who caused the pregnancy.
Yes, you're right. She calls out the father.
Yeah.
But the thing is that within the confines of the series, he's not the father.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like
Gasp.
a medical thing that they do to make her the pregnant one, so they have like a sciencey excuse to make her pregnant. Because there was no plot excuse to make her pregnant. So at one point she's yelling at the character because she's pregnant, she's flustered, and she's already a very hot-headed character, and she's like, "What are you talking about? This is your fault, you know."
Yeah.
And she's talking about the pregnancy, and it's like, oh, that is on the money, because unless you know what's going on behind the scenes, you don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, it's just like a fun little in-joke.
Yeah,
Cute.
the person who caused the pregnancy.
The person who caused it. Oh God. For like a second, can we talk about how much of a bummer that to live in a world where there's no Worf?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Because that was so sad. That was so sad.
Yeah.
Just how could we not have Worf?
I can just imagine the existential panic that sent you into.
I had to pause and just be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I wrote in capital letters, Worf is gone? ? Ah!
Yeah.
With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 H's.
Overall, I think watching everybody's reactions to, like, there's people missing, like watching them react to the Doctor's like incredulous behavior about it is kind of heartbreaking. Because like we know these characters, and seeing them react like this seems out of character, but
Yeah.
Also,
that's what makes it
yeah.
so like hard to watch, I think.
I think also with like Picard's reaction, I found a little like confusing of him being like, I believe you, but I also think you're off your rocker.
Yeah, it's like I believe that you believe that this is true. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think this is actually happening, but I believe that you think it actually is.
But like it kind of felt like condescending
Yeah.
from
But, like,
Picard.
But like, think about it from his perspective. What do you say
No.
to something like that?
I will not think of its
No,
perspective.
what do you actually say when your friend comes to you and says, "Don't you remember my best friend in the world that you've met dozens and dozens of times, that I hang out with all the time, that I never stop talking about?" And you're just like, "No."
You do what I do. Just say, okay.
Yeah.
I remember so like nothing.
And it's like, you have to help me find, if I was like, You have to help me find Jack, my son. You know, my 5-year-old son that that you know and have met and have babysat and everything. Like, he's missing. We have to go to the police. And you're like,
I would have said, okay.
Yeah.
I'll believe stuff because I have such a bad memory that I just truly, if somebody tells me.
That you would forget, like, that I would have a whole child.
I mean, probably not, but at the same time, there's some stuff that like that happens that I'm like surprised to hear about, even though I'm pretty sure I may have known about, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, so I don't know. I get. I also like feel like I forget too many. Maybe. I feel like I also just like forget a lot of stuff in general. Yeah. So I just trust that people are like telling me the truth. And I think, oh God, now here's the question. How many people know that I have such a bad memory and just assume everybody's just telling me shit and I'm just believing them and they're telling me lies? I'm trusting you people. How could you do this to me? I'm going to have my existential crisis right now because I don't know what I've been told.
You gaslight yourself, basically.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, it's the opposite for me because I don't remember telling people stuff. So I tell the same people the same thing multiple times because I don't remember I've said it already.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that. In my case, it's more so because I forgot that I told that specific person, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I just don't remember who I've told what to. So it's truly a free-for-all in my brain. It's just a bunch of like, you know, like a ball pool. What's it called?
Ball pit?
Ball pit. I was like, pool of balls. Yeah, it's like a ball pit in my head.
Just random like, memories toss about.
Yeah, you just shake it around and sometimes just like, I don't know, stuff moves around.
Yeah.
It both harms and helps me.
Yeah, I'd love to just exist in the moment.
See, the thing is though, I can't even do that because I have too much anxiety
about what you've forgotten.
Like, yeah, that's my fucking day to day. I cannot remember what I do with like. Oh my God. Yeah, my memory's so bad. I can't even vibe with myself because, like, I can't remember what I've done with half my stuff. Because then I'll be like, wait, did I do this? Nope, I need to go check this thing 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't remember doing it. Yep. I called my old landlord from London, England to ask him to see if he could check if I turned off my fan in my apartment.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember if I did it. So I called him from a different continent. That's not the first time I did that too. Not from a different continent, but I once called him to ask if he could check to see if I turned off my kitchen sink because I didn't remember.
Oh, I also love the idea that you would just leave the house with the sink on.
Well, okay, to be fair, so I was washing dishes and then like someone was coming to pick me up, but they were early and I got flustered and I just like ran out. So I couldn't remember if I turned off the sink.
Water, yeah.
So then I was in the car and I was like, oh my God, I have no recollection of turning off the sink, the faucet. So I called my super and I was like, hey, big favor, can you check for me?
Yeah.
I have, to this day, have no idea if I left the water on. He never told me.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't you?
I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, one way or another, when I got home that night, there was no water running, so...
I mean, that's what's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm like, that kind of shit can be like a genuine detriment to your life, people's life in general. So I'm really sorry that sucks, but also that's fucking hilarious.
Yes, no, it is hilarious. When I was in the airport in in Dublin in Ireland, on my connection, writing a huge message to one of my friends to be like, hey, can you call my super to see if I could if I make sure I turned off my fan, because for whatever reason last minute I also decided I wasn't going to bring with hairspray. Why I thought I needed to bring hairspray is beyond me.
Yeah.
But I remember leaving it on the floor, and I just kept picturing, like, what if I left the fan on and it's like on, because I was gone for a week, and I was like, and it keeps going, and then it like sets off like a little spark or something in my apartment, and then the aerosol can, whatever, is on the floor, and that just ignites and my whole building burns down, and it's my fault, but I don't know because I'm in England.
Oh God. Yeah. That's more of an anxiety thing than a memory thing.
Well, I couldn't remember if I did it though,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that not being able to remember is what caused the anxiety.
Yeah, it's a combo, I guess.
Yeah.
But also
fortunately-
catastrophizing that scenario is...
Oh yeah, I always look for the worst.
Yeah.
But fortunately, my friend who I was traveling with, she had like a call plan, so she was like, "Yeah, call." She's like, "I don't know why you didn't mention this earlier. Just call your super from my phone." And I just was like, "Hey, I'm calling from England." He was like, "Okay." I brought him a keychain back.
Well, that's nice of you.
Well, listen, I couldn't call him across the world and ask him to check to make sure that my fan was off and that there was no aerosol cans on the floor, flammable items, and not bring him back something.
Oh, yeah.
So I got him a little keychain. It was like a little, like the red phone booths.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The police
Yeah, I got
boxes.
'em.
Oh, no, the police boxes are blue.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the, are they blue or are we just exposed to Doctor Who?
Well, the whole thing is the TARDIS is a police box. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a police box?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I watched multiple seasons of that show. Hello, memory? Nobody's home.
To be fair, the color of it is not important.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the red phone booths.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yes.
got him. Yeah. Anyways, wow. Thanks for joining us in Memory Corner.
Yeah. In poor memory corner.
Crisis Corner. I am surprised that, like, I would have thought Dr. C would have, like, gotten a little more shaken up when, like, Wes disappeared.
Yeah.
But she just was like, oh no, Wes. All right, well, I guess just keep going. But I suppose that's also, like, in the past, her and Wes have not been like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like, kind of relationship. They've been very subdued
Yes.
with,
Yeah.
like, stuff. So, like,
I think at that point, like, so many people had disappeared, and, like, when
she's
it was
just like
Wes-
another tally.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wes.
Yeah. I think it was, like, more of, like, just a subdued reaction, and she was like, okay, I have to... Like, she was just putting herself in, like, I have to figure this out mode. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the way I saw it.
That's fair. I don't know. I have a billion quotes to talk about
Yeah.
for this episode. There's so many good ones.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we should move on to lines and moments and that stuff.
How much time do we have?
Well, I mean, it's our podcast. We can make it however long we want.
All right. Chronological order. Let's go.
God.
All right. Right at the beginning of the episode, Dr. C is getting on the bringing Dr. Dalen on the ship, and she goes, "You look wonderful." And he goes, "A lie I can live with." That's so funny. And then he says to her, they're walking down the hallway, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. There's no reason to load all this emotional baggage on you. I usually travel light." And he's talking about that his wife died and whatever. And then he lifts a small carry-on bag. Like, that's amazing. I did like tea Earl Grey hot, because I think we've talked about that before. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a kick when they said that in this.
That's like one of his catchphrases.
Yeah, I enjoyed that in this. I did enjoy her describing Worf. I did enjoy her describing Riker and Data and Troy. Then, okay, so then later, Dr. C, oh my God, her with the computer.
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. Everything with the computer is so good. So Dr. C says, if this is a bad dream, would you tell me? And then there's like strained beeping. And then the computer goes, that is not a valid question. And then she goes, like hell it's not.
Yeah.
And then Dr. C goes, what is the primary mission of the Starship Enterprise? And the computer goes, to explore the galaxy. Then Dr. C goes, do I have the necessary skills to complete that mission alone? And the computer goes, negative. And then Dr. C says, then why am I the only crew member? And then strained beeping, haha, gotcha there.
Strained beeping.
And then the computer goes, that information is not available. Oh, okay. And then this is near the end. Dr. C is like rationalizing and like figuring shit out. And she goes, my thoughts created this universe. Can they get me out of it again? Wow. Line delivery. Worse than usual. She was thinking, okay, so, my thoughts created this universe. Can they get me out of it again? And the computer goes, that information is not available. And then Dr. C goes, I'm not talking to you. Click my heels together 3 times and I'm back in Kansas. Can it be that simple? I just like her saying, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
Computer. I just like, yeah. Everything Dr. C this episode.
Yeah.
Everything Dr. C. Oh, also the countdown to the number of people on the ship was funny.
Yeah. What I found really funny was when so the universe is collapsing, right? Like the warp bubble is getting smaller and smaller. Mm-hmm. And like shit starts going down on the ship because the universe is getting smaller than the ship. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, what happened? And it's like, oh, like there was a explosive decompression on deck, whatever. And she's like, what caused it? And the computer was like, a flaw in the ship's design. He made the ship bigger than the universe.
Like, I'm sorry, wouldn't like the entire compression problem be affecting like the whole deck by that point? Or is there just constantly force fields going up, blocking the amount of the amount that's decompressed at a time?
I don't know. I'm sure they have like different seals between sections on decks and stuff.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But like, how long, as the ship is disappearing into non-existence, can the ship actually continue to keep up with that?
Well, I mean, that's the whole stakes of the episode.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, is that like, oh shit, I need to get out of this situation before the
ship doesn't exist.
Yeah, before the ship doesn't exist.
Yeah, I like when he says we will be going beyond mathematics, and I'm just like, oh boy, it's metaphysics time.
Yeah. Because,
like, Star Trek does that so often, and ever since learning what metaphysics actually was in, like, my 20s, when I'm watching 80s and 90s sci-fi, I fucking see it, because it rubs your nose in it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this might be a stupid question. I don't really know what it is. What metaphysics is. I know the word, obviously.
Okay,
but like, what's the sort of like a main idea? Let's call it.
The main idea of metaphysics is that the physical and the physical world that we deal with blends into the dimension of our thought-based world. In that, like, humans are so. That human thought can, like, penetrate reality. So, like, there were a lot of things about this back in the 1980s and whatnot, where it was like, oh, people are actually capable of, like, telekinetics and things like that, moving things with our minds. And the idea was that if we can control the electronic impulses within our brains, then technically we should be able to control the electronic fields around us as well. And obviously it's thinking we're capable of a lot more than we actually are, but there were a lot of things around it where it was like blending physics with thought, and this entire plot line with Wesley and the Traveler is that in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's basically that we can manipulate reality with our minds. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the main thrust of it.
It's like the MK Ultra shit.
Not quite. MK Ultra was a mind control program.
Yeah. Oh. What? I know they gave people LSD to try to see if they could get powers or something. I don't know. It's a combination of stuff I remember reading / the first season of Stranger Things.
Not quite. They thought they thought that LSD could be used as like a mind control serum.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like trying to see if people could like do shit with their minds if they gave them LSD.
No, that's definitely something. That's definitely something that sci-fi has played a lot with over the years, but there isn't any direct evidence of that being the approach to MK Ultra. There might have been something like that within the CIA, but if there was, it was like not huge like MK Ultra was. Then again, MK Ultra wasn't that huge either. It was actually a pretty small program, but it was it was notorious because once it was all publicized, everyone was like, "Jesus Christ, what the fuck? The ethics violations you guys have is like redonkulous." But yeah, so metaphysics is actually a branch of philosophy, not of other kinds of science.
Yeah.
Oh, philosophy.
Yeah.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, metaphysics is exactly what Jeff said. It's philosophy rather than like science.
That's right.
But it kind of tries to like blend like science into it.
Yes.
Is it like how people manifest things?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. It's like The Secret.
I never read that book.
No.
It's a book, right?
Metaphysics, yeah. Metaphysics essentially questions the fundamental like nature of the reality around us, in terms of like how much of the reality around us is within our own control. And it was a big thought in the 1980s specifically because there were a lot of questions going on in the 1980s about our own identities. And that's something that's only gotten stronger since. However, metaphysics has not, because it's a little silly.
Cool.
Although simulation theory has grown in popularity, I think.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Has.
That is the idea that we are living in a simulation, like the Matrix.
Oh.
That we're
Like
living...
The Sims.
Yeah. Yeah, that we are Sims, or that like we're living in the Matrix, basically.
Which is why every time that you say something, people can't read it, just like The Sims. Every time you say something, they can't hear it.
But nobody's done the motherload cheat for me yet. I really like
and they
that.
never will.
Well, I mean, clearly some people have. Elon Musk,
Yes.
Jeff Bezos.
Yep. But not for us. They've been disabled for us.
Yeah.
We've
I
got
don't
some
even get
filthy
their-
casual playing it, and they're like not paying attention to us 90% of the time. They just leave the computer on, and they're like, "Okay, time to go to work."
I can't even get the $1,000 rosebud cheat.
Nope. And we just wander around our homes and pee on the floor, and that's it. That's our lives.
Yeah, and we drown when people remove the ladder from our swimming pool.
That's very relatable.
Oh, so many times. Yeah, rip.
And also Drew Carey shows up at our parties.
Oh, awkward.
That happened in the original, like the first generation of The Sims, like house party, I think it was. Drew Carey would show
God.
up at your parties.
Of course.
I don't know why they picked Drew Carey to be the celebrity of this game, but, you know, because, like, the kids playing The Sims, their demographic was super into Drew Carey, I guess.
Probably not the demographic was super into Drew Carey as much as they wanted to put Drew Carey in there because they like Drew Carey.
Oh, no, I was being sarcastic. I was the
No.
demographic. I was like 10 when the games came out or something. I don't know. I was
No
pretty young.
10-year-old like Drew Carey. What's wrong with you?
That's her
Drew-
point.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like who was playing the game and was like, oh yeah, Drew Carey, my favorite quote unquote comedian.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really into
Really?
fucking the Drew Carey show.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah. Which I do like that show, but
I have never seen it. I know of it because I remember there's the lady with a lot of makeup.
yeah.
Yeah,
But past
the parts
that,
around
I don't know.
her, the parts around her have not aged well.
No.
There are a lot of fat jokes.
Yeah, it's a very it's a problematic show, but
Yeah, it's a show that's of its time.
yeah, for sure. It's like one of those things like if you didn't like if you didn't watch it like in that era, you probably wouldn't like it now.
Yeah, very true.
Just like Space Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pump up the jam, pump it up.
Space Jam is
That's not
great.
even the Space Jam song. What am I doing?
No, it's not.
That's just a song with jam in it. Oh, it's Come On and Slam. And welcome to the jam.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
the
I got
best
it.
theme song.
Yeah. I want to watch the new one just to see.
No.
No? Is it bad?
I haven't seen it. I don't know. Just on principle.
I've heard from people who are nostalgic about the original one that it was not a movie made for them.
Oh, yeah. Probably not. I mean, yeah. That's fair. Not everything has to be for us.
I mean, the original plot of Space Jam is so straightforward and so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, but this one just looks overly complicated and like they were trying to be like, have like logistics. Whereas, like, Space Jam at its core is like an alien wanted the Looney Tunes to become an attraction at his alien theme park. And the Looney Tunes were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And because your guys are little, we're going to play basketball. And then they get big because they steal Charles Barkley's ball.
Okay,
I mean,
Dory,
that does sound pretty convoluted, honestly.
Also, Bill Murray's there.
let's be perfectly fair for a moment here, okay? There are two kinds of movies nowadays. There are movies that take themselves really seriously and are, like, incredibly over the top in terms of, like, having a convoluted storyline and whatnot. And then there are movies that are just dripping in self-awareness.
Yeah.
Jam.
This is not a movie that is dripping in self-awareness, unfortunately.
Wait, Space Jam?
No. Current Space Jam.
Oh, 'cause I was gonna say like old Space Jam is a clusterfuck of a movie, but I think they knew that.
Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah.
But that kind of self-awareness in a film, I don't think it really exists the same way that it used to.
Yeah.
Oh no, the promotional materials for the old Space Jam was a like face-off style movie poster, but one half was Michael Jordan and the other was Bugs Bunny.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the current Space Jam poster is just lots and lots of colors.
Oh, it's like LeBron
And-
James and whatever.
Well, yeah, but it's a bunch of like, oh, look, guys, you know what's in right now? Pink and blue. Let's make a poster about
Yeah,
that.
as if Space Jam wasn't like, hey, you know what's in right now? Fucking Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I think people like give the original Space Jam like too much credit. Like,
Oh, absolutely,
just
because it's
as
not even a
fucking
very good
stupid.
movie.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
that's
like,
right.
But I love it's so much fun. And if you don't hear that, if you hear that theme song, it's impossible to not get pumped up.
Oh yeah, it's also
It's-
like Space Jam just encapsulates its time period so perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very true.
It's just like if you had a GIF next to the definition of the fucking 90s, it's Space Jam.
Yeah,
It's the whole
They
movie.
They needed you to know that the lady bunny was a lady, so they gave her boobs.
Yeah, they
and
gave
her
her bunny
ears are a
boobs.
ponytail.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Boobs.
All right. I guess we should move on to predictions for the next episode.
I'm
After
ready.
that whole bunny boob sidetrack.
Apparently there was a quote-unquote controversy because
Yeah.
they
Yes.
didn't make Lola so sexy in the
Yes.
new one, which is
Yes.
like, I'm waiting to hear what the problem is.
Yeah.
She's an animated bunny.
I'm sorry, furries. You'll have to get like
No, it wasn't even furries. It was a bunch of guys that
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, this is taking away our character." And it's like, "What character?"
oh yeah, it was basically a bunch of people like, oh, so woke they made her unsexy. I'm like, she's a fucking bunny rabbit.
yes.
It was
gives a
weird they
shit?
made her sexy to start.
Yeah. Anyway, next episode.
Yeah.
The next
Okay, I'm
episode the next episode is called Legacy. And what happens in the Legacy is that the crew runs into Tasha Yar's sister.
No. Fuck. Yes. Everything. Wait. This isn't a like cast as the same person and it's
No.
like lulz. Okay, so it's somebody else. So it's legit. Okay. It's
Yeah.
not just like, hi, this is Tasha Yar's sister who happens to look identical to
Yeah,
her
no,
'cause
it's
played by the same
it's-
actress.
Yeah, it's not Denise Crosby, no.
Oh, okay. So it's legit somebody else is
Yeah.
her sister. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's going to be amazing. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I might cry. Not right now when I watch the episode.
Yeah.
I might cry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did we know she had a sister?
No.
No.
This is just a plot twist. Surprise, she had a sister.
Yeah.
Oh, this is neither the first nor the last time Star Trek will do that.
Yeah. To have
love
this
a
kind of a
surprise
plot
sibling.
twist, basically. I mean, Worf got a surprise sibling.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Worf's surprise sibling.
Yep.
What's his name?
Kern.
I couldn't tell you. Something with a K.
It's Kern.
Also, Spock has several surprise siblings, including one that's the feature of an entire film.
He does?
Party.
Star Trek V.
Worf does?
No, Spock.
Oh, sorry. My brain heard Worf, not Spock, for some reason. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yes,
right,
Spock has
I gotta
several
think.
surprise siblings.
Okay. It's like a soap opera.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So good. In the best way. Everything
Yeah.
should be a soap opera. Okay. So
We even had an
Next
amnesia
episode.
plot line.
I love an amnesia plot line.
It was the Jesus dude. Forgot he was
yeah.
Jesus. Forgot he was space Jesus.
Space Jesus. Good times. Okay. All right. Let's just go like just gonna go to town. Let's see what I come up with. See where my mouth takes me.
Yeah, man. Take us to town.
Okay. So they go to a new planet in which, like, I don't know why, but for some reason I am picturing what's Yar's sister's name? Can I know that?
I forget.
Or is that going to
honestly.
be a surprise? Okay.
No,
I guess
it's
that's
not. I just genuinely don't remember what it is.
Okay. That's okay. It's not like super relevant to my prediction, but because it's going to depend on what her name is. But I just kind of like, for some reason, like picture her in like a nurse or doctor role, or just in more of like a, not peacekeeping, but like in a kind of more, I don't know, let's say chill role versus like the, like Yar went into like Starfleet, which seems like more intense. And so I'm picturing her sister having a more chill role, maybe like as like an ambassador. No, that seems more, I don't know. I'm just picturing her like hanging out with some kids, and maybe she's a teacher. I don't know, but they go down to the planet.
You do remember the planet that she's from, right?
No. Oh yeah. No, I forgot, but now I remember. Oh no. No, but it doesn't have to be their planet. Can she not be on another planet?
There's lots of options.
I'd love her not to be on this scary planet. I want her to have nice things. I don't know her. I'm hoping she's a good person because I like Yar so much. I'm going with something nice. She's on a different planet. Yeah. She's being a teacher, and they're bringing her some nice school supplies to help with her teaching kids nice things, and everybody's happy, and they get to give her sister some closure and spend time with her, and she gets to meet the crew, and everybody's like, Yar was amazing, and we miss her dearly, and we're here for you. And they have a dinner They have a banquet. They have a whole like memorial service for Yar, and they give her, the sister, some nice stuff, and they're like, call us if you need anything.
So romantic.
I want nice stuff for her.
I looked up her name if you want to know it.
Wait, at this point, no,
Okay,
don't tell me. I
okay.
want to be surprised. Leave the name reveal for the episode.
It truly doesn't matter, but yeah, I won't tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. She's a teacher. She's teaching children. They're bringing her supplies. Maybe they don't know that's Yar's sister, though, initially, and then surprise, it's Yar's sister. Oh my god, have we got stories to tell you. And she was wonderful. And Data shows her his little hologram. Oh my god, Data gives her the hologram. Or makes a duplicate. Data... Oh my god. There's too many things.
Well, if you'd like to see if that is correct, walk along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.